Imagine you are at the bank to obtain money for your business. Try to see yourself through the eyes of the clerk. Do you look calm or nervous? What impression does your outfit make? Try hard, because those who better visualize this scene are also more likely to be financed. Recent work in neuroscience and psychology has underscored the positive impact of visualizing future scenarios on decision making. Those who invest the effort to imagine the future also have better economic outcomes in the short and medium term. Business training, though, has almost ignored the role of imagery and emotions so far. In a paper with Nava Ashraf, Gharad Bryan, Emily Holmes, Leonardo Iacovone, and Ashley Pope, we found that visualization exercises can make business training more effective, especially for women, vulnerable populations, and people who suffer trauma in their lives. We worked with 2,000 would-be entrepreneurs in Colombia, a sample that includes vulnerable populations like victims of the conflict, immigrants, formerly homeless, LGBT communities, low-income youth, and the elderly. 83% of them reported past exposure to traumatic events and violence. First, using a standard psychological survey, we observed that a more frequent use and higher quality of mental imagery correlates strongly with higher asset accumulation, earnings, and life satisfaction. Then, we conducted an experiment. We divided our would-be entrepreneurs into 3 groups. The first group was offered a standard business training course that we modeled out of many international courses in business training. The second group was offered the same course, plus scenario simulation exercises and imagery, and the third group was a control group with no training at all. We found that imagery can be trained. After the training, entrepreneurs in the scenario simulation group recorded a higher imagery index, a measure of the frequency of imagery used, enhanced vividness and emotional intensity of imagined future business scenarios. Moreover, we found that those in the imagery group had significantly higher earnings compared to those in the traditional training group. They were also 6% more likely to obtain credit, and in comparison to other entrepreneurs who obtained credit, acquired significantly higher amounts. Improvements in imagery skills were stronger in participants with high trauma symptoms. We know that trauma often leads to emotional shutdown and the inability to imagine positive scenarios. In these cases, scenario simulation exercises can overcome the blocks leading to larger efforts. Imagery also disproportionately benefits women who have limited experience as entrepreneurs and also heavier trauma symptoms. Women learn business-related imagery more effectively than men, and also record an improvement in earnings than men do not obtain. The emotional component of imagery, which enables participants to moderate and manage bad emotions and generate positive ones, seem to be particularly important for our results. Participants assigned to the imagery training were more likely to engage in marketing practices such as seeking client feedback or checking a competitor's product, even if these activities can give them bad news and thus bad emotions. For instance, 78% of imagery-trained business owners have checked a competitor's product, compared to only 70% of those who received traditional training.